This week we're bringing you highlights from men's and women's basketball, women's soccer, women's lacrosse, and tons more. So stay tuned because LTU Sports Report starts right now. Hey everyone, and welcome to the LTU Sports Report. I'm your host, Alex Johnson. The LTU Sports Report is made possible by Lawrence Technological University, and we're sponsored by Henry Ford Sports Medicine, helping our athletes stay healthy. Coming up first on this week's show, we head to the pitch as the women's soccer team are back at the Total Sports Complex in Wixom to take on the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene. Let's check out those highlights.
The Lawrence Tech women's soccer team is looking to get back on track as they take on the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene. This season, Lawrence Tech sits on top of the WAC after going undefeated in conference play before the break. The Blue Devils, who is without the sensational sophomore Jenny Deere, who leads the team in goals, failed to score for the first time this season. With Deere back in the lineup, will LTU come out victorious? Starting in the first half, both teams would struggle to get shots off on goal until the Cougars kick one to the back of the net for the first goal of the game. But fret not, the Blue Devils would come right back and tie it up at 1. And it would be the captain, Lauren Wozniak, who got the job done, netting her second goal of the season. The game knotted up at 1 apiece late in the first half. However, Lawrence Tech would trail 1-2 at the half. Coming back from the break, we'll jump to the end of the half where the Cougars looked to put a stamp on this one. And they would go, scoring the final goal of the game with just 4 minutes left. Lawrence Tech would drop this one 3-1 as the final.
The Danes team hit the floor in their final competition. Let's hear from some of those girls and how their season went.
So this weekend we competed at 2 competitions. We actually did really good at the first one, and the second one we did even better. Although the scores may not reflect it, we felt that was our best performance of the season.
I feel that the team did really well at these competitions. We worked our hardest because we knew it was the end of this competition season.
This was actually our first full year of competing, especially for me and Elena, who are the 2 sophomores. We didn't get to compete last year, so it was really fun to finally get through a full season, and we had a lot of good times. It was a lot of work, but it was definitely worth all that work.
Next year for the competition, we should have a bigger team, so we're really looking forward to playing with different dynamics with a different team.
So right now we are not done practicing. We are in fact still getting ready for football games, so we hope to see you guys there.
Transitioning from the competition to the performance side, it makes us a little bit more relaxed because there's less pressure.
Throughout the show, we'll get to know 2 student athletes, so let's meet one right now.
Hi, my name's Samuel MARASCO. I'm a sophomore and I play men's soccer. I think my favorite superhero is Iron Man. I grew up watching those movies when they came out, so I really enjoy those. My celebrity crush is Madison Beer. She's really pretty, so. I'd say probably just playing video games. Something I like to decompress and just relax and play some video games. My favorite video game is Rainbow Six Siege. It's pretty fun. It's like a first-person shooter.
The men's and women's tennis teams took on Lake Superior State over the weekend. Let's see how they did.
Had a match against Lake Superior State. Real difficult D2 team. We seem to compete against them very well. They also compete against us very well. The men won the doubles. They took the number 1 and 2 spot. We lost, I think, 6-3 at the 3 spot, but that's okay. We still picked up the point.
Let's go, Blue! Let's go, LTU!
After that, we got our singles matches out, and we had a new singles lineup tonight. We got a couple of our freshmen in the lineup tonight, and they played really, really well. And it came down to a 3rd set tie break at 6 singles, and we were fortunate enough to win. I think the nice part is everybody contributed up and down the lineup. As I had said in our post-match comments, everybody contributed. Didn't matter if you won or lost, you were up there and you're cheering. The big thing is that we won the tie break at 6 singles, and we won the match. Well, lots to work on. We've made a lot of errors tonight. We've got to cut down on our unforced errors. I think our serves look better. We worked on those a lot during the week. We've worked on most of the fundamentals, but it's really serves and volleys that ultimately will get us to victory lane. The guys travel to Grace University or Grace College in Indiana on Wednesday, and then everybody travels down to UNOH on Saturday. We'll play UNOH in the morning and Davenport University in the afternoon. So we've got a brutal schedule in February, no two ways about it, but the kids stepped up tonight. I think even had we lost tonight, I would have been very pleased with their play, but we were fortunate enough to beat a very well-coached team, and no two ways about it. They always compete very, very well. And the best part is they're gentlemen, as are the ladies are ladies. So we're very fortunate.
1, 2, 3, go!
We're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors, but we'll have more highlights for you when you get back, so stay tuned.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back. As promised, we got highlights from our women's lacrosse team, and they go to Country Day where they took on Davenport University.
The Lawrence Tech women's lacrosse team is back in action for the first time this season. The Blue Devils faced off against the Cougars of Davenport University in a preseason scrimmage. After only playing 5 games total last season due to the pandemic, LTU, like everyone else, is rolling with the punches. Can the Blue Devils fix some kinks in the play and get the win? Jumping to the second half, LTU down big, but a comeback would ensue. Down by double digits, goal, Lawrence Tech would cut the lead down to 4. But the Blue Devils just couldn't get over the hill and would drop this one 19-12 the final. Lawrence Tech is back in action February 26th at Cumberland.
We got 2 basketball packages for you in the show today. Up first, let's see how the Blue Devils did against the Golden Eagles of Cornerstone University.
We're back inside the Don Riddler Fieldhouse as the Lawrence Tech women's basketball team faces off against the Golden Eagles of Cornerstone. The Blue Devils enter tonight's matchup on a 2-game winning streak. The last time these two teams met, the Eagles handled business, winning by 19 points. With the Blue Devils seemingly clicking on all cylinders as of late, can they avenge the early season loss? Starting in the first quarter, it was all LTU as the Blue Devils' aggressive defense set the tone early in this game, allowing just 3 points. On to the second quarter, sharpshooter Taryn Klein, who had a career night with 5 for 5 from downtown, torching the Eagles' defense. She would end her night with an outstanding 32 points. Lawrence Tech would then take a 23-point lead into the break. Jumping to the fourth quarter, the Blue Devils are on cruise control as the hot shooting sophomore Julia Huey went 4 from 6 from behind the arc. She would have 14 points on the night. Lawrence Tech would go on to win this one and secure their spot in the WAC playoffs with a final score of 87-64. On to the men, who are also facing the Golden Eagles. The Blue Devils are looking to snap a 2-game losing streak on this end and to secure their spot in the WAC playoffs. Starting in the first half, both teams would get off to a slow start, but the Eagles would heat up from behind the arc and take a 43-31 lead into the break. Coming back from the break, the Blue Devils would begin to find their rhythm, but the defense from the Eagles would prove to be too much as they would come up with 12 big-time blocks on the night. While 3 Blue Devils scored in double figures, it just wasn't enough as Lawrence Tech would drop this one 80-62.
Coming up next, we chat with one of the men's volleyball players to figure out why he chose LTU.
My name is Max Hartney. I'm studying electrical engineering and I'm on the men's volleyball team. I started playing volleyball when I was like 10 years old. My dad was just on a beach league, so I'd just pepper around with him. At my high school, we actually started our club team, and it was like 4 teams in the entire state, and I believe this year they're up to 32 or 33 in the state, so we're actually kind of getting districts and all that. My last 2 years playing, we won districts. Time management is the key to success here, especially with sports. You got to figure out like practice-wise and then school-wise and figure out when you are able to do homework and all that. Especially going into like electrical engineering, I can go into a bunch of different routes, so I don't really know what route I'm going to take. I think being like a control line management, so like doing all the codes and all that and wiring up all like the robots and all that and assembly lines, I think that would be very interesting. A lot of athletes just mingle together, I guess, so it's nice and you kind of have that same thing to bond over, so you get to meet new people. We act like a family, we help each other out whenever we need to. Competitive side, we want someone that's there to win. It's not just to play volleyball, you know. We want them to be there all the time and being able to win and want to win.
The men's and women's track and field teams reigned to Grand Rapids over the weekend to compete in the Indoor WAC Championship. Let's see how they reigned.
The Lawrence Tech men's and women's track and field team traveled all the way to the west side of the state to Grand Rapids, Michigan at Aquinas College to compete in the Indoor WAC Championships this past weekend. In the women's 1-mile run, sophomore Darby Johnson finished with an impressive time, good enough to award her 3rd place. While in the women's 5,000-meter run, LTU had one runner. That was junior Haley Catania, which she placed 11th in that event. The next event, however, was the men's 800-meter run, in which Joanna Morris finished with a time of 2:14.53, placing him 8th at the finish. Lawrence Tech's best finish of the weekend came from the feet of the women in the women's distance medley, finishing with an impressive time of 13:57.90, where they finished in 1st place. Lawrence Tech women's team finished in 7th place overall with a team score of 10, and the men finished in 9th place with a team score of 4. All of this is great preparation for the 56th annual NAIA Men's Indoor Track and Field National Championships and the 41st annual NAIA Women's Indoor Track and Field National Championships, all hosted March 4th through the 6th at Dakota State University. That'll be next on the ledger for both of these teams.
Now let's check out our second basketball highlights as the teams went up against University of Northwestern Ohio.
The women's basketball team is back at the Don Riddler Fieldhouse for their final home game of the regular season. Tonight, we celebrate 2 of Lawrence Tech's finest and Taryn Klein and Emily Langhoff on their senior night. Both ladies have contributed to the success and growth of the current LTU women's basketball program, but most importantly, how these ladies carry themselves off the field is far more meaningful and important than what happens on the court. With that being said, Lawrence Tech would like to send a big thank you to Taryn Klein and Emily Langhoff. With the celebration behind them, the Blue Devils faced off against the Northwestern Racers. The Racers entered tonight's matchup with a 2-10 record in conference play. Meanwhile, LTU has found their rhythm as the ladies in blue have won their last 3 games. Can they end the regular season on a high note? Back and forth these two teams went, big play after big play. The game will be tied at 23 going into the break. Coming back from the break, it would be the sharp shooting from the Blue Devils that would separate them from the Racers, led by the sniper herself, Julia Huey, who hit 5 threes on the night. Lawrence Tech would go on to win this one, 61-47 the final.
I think Julia was huge tonight. She stepped up and so did Gabby, and that's what we've been trying to do this last stretch, instilling that confidence in them, because once we leave, this is their team, and we're going to need people to step up like that, and they were huge tonight.
It's really exciting just having, it be senior night, and it's bittersweet, having to be the end of the road here for Taryn and I, but, we came together as a team, pulled out that W, and honestly, that's all that matters at this point.
On to the men now, who look to end their season with a win against the winless Racers. While the Blue Devils have been playing much better on the offensive end, missing assignments on the defensive end has been a major issue for the Blue Devils. Can they put together a full game for the final game of the season? Starting in the first half, the Blue Devils would jump all over the Racers, led by junior Brandon Beavers, who goes off for 20. LTU would take a 12-point lead into the break. Coming back from the break, the Racers would go on a small run and even take the lead, but it would be the Blue Devils who would prevail. Beavers would fill that stat sheet with 28 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds. Lawrence Tech would go on to win this one, 89-82.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to end the regular season on a high note, especially going into the conference tournament. So it's really good. We thought we could have played a little bit better tonight as a team overall, but it's always good, like I said, ending the season on a high note and just keeping morale up.
Me personally, I don't really care about the stats. My main focus is to go out and get the win for the team, and that's what we did. So I'm happy about that.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Emmons. I'm a softball player and I'm in the nursing program and I'm a junior. My favorite movie is The Blind Side. I just like how it's really well put together and I just like the whole team aspect and watching his story. I like homemade mac and cheese, preferably. My favorite TV show is Prison Break. I like the suspense and just seeing him break in and out of prison.
Last but not least, it was senior night for the women's basketball team. All their teammates got together to wish them goodbye.
I just wanted to say good luck to the 2 seniors after they graduate LTU when they grow up and get big person jobs.
Just for the both seniors, I just want to say thank you for making my freshman year fun and as much as it could be with COVID. And I just hope that you guys have a great rest of your life as you become adults and graduate, and I'll miss you guys.
I want you guys both to know to always remember peace, love, and wear protective gloves.
To Taryn and Emily, I have loved being your friend and growing our relationship together. I cannot wait to see what you guys do in the next few years after basketball. I will miss you greatly. I love you both so much, and I cannot wait to see what you do in your big girl jobs. Love you.
Emily and Taryn, I'll miss you so much next year. It won't be the same without you. Emily and Taryn, you guys are great people and you're going to do great things in the world, and I can't wait to see where life takes you guys.
Thank you both to Taryn and Emily. We appreciate you both, just the work you put into this program, and good luck as you go on in your life.
Taryn and Em, you guys are amazing people, amazing role models, and we're going to miss you so much. Best of luck in the real world with your big girl jobs, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Since Taryn and Emily are 2 of the best people, leaders, and basketball players I've ever met in my life, I know that you guys will go do big things in the rest of your world, continue to bring happiness to the people around you. So good luck to you both. I love you guys.
That's our show for this week. Thanks for sticking around, and as always, please check us out on social media for daily updates, videos, photos, and anything sports related at LTU Athletics. Also, be sure to tune into our podcast, LTU Blue Devils in Depth, where we take you behind the scenes with student athletes. Again, I'm your host, Alex Johnson. I'll catch you next time.